B. Hind limbs. Hind limbs refer to the set of paired limbs located towards the rear or back end of an organism's body. In many animals, including most mammals, the hind limbs are larger and more muscular than the forelimbs and are primarily used for locomotion, jumping, and other physical activities. Hind limbs include the bones, muscles, and other structures in the posterior part of an animal's body that are involved in movement and support. They often include the femur, tibia, fibula, patella, and other bones of the lower leg, as well as the foot and associated musculature. In some animals, such as birds and primates, the hind limbs are also used for grasping and manipulating objects. I. Pelvic girdle. The pelvic girdle or pelvis is a bony ring structure located at the base of the trunk in many vertebrate species, including humans. It connects the axial skeleton, the spine and ribcage, to the lower limbs and forms a strong and stable foundation for the body. The pelvic girdle consists of two ilia, hip bones, the sacrum, and the coccyx. In humans, the pelvis is adapted for bipedal locomotion, with a broad and shallow bowl shape that supports the abdominal organs and provides attachment points for the muscles of the legs, hips, and lower back. Adaptations of the pelvic girdle. The pelvic girdle has undergone several adaptations in different species to serve various functions, including 1. Bipedal locomotion. In human beings, the pelvic girdle has undergone significant adaptations for the purpose of supporting bipedal locomotion. The ilia are broad, shallow, and oriented more horizontally, providing greater support and stability for the body's weight. The sacrum is also broad and curved to better support the weight of the torso above it. 2. Childbirth. The female pelvic girdle has evolved to support the birthing process. In particular, the human female pelvis is larger and broader than the male pelvis, with a wider pubic arch and a larger pelvic outlet to allow for the passage of an infant. 3. Swimming. Some aquatic mammals, such as whales and dolphins, have a pelvic girdle that has been significantly reduced and simplified over time. This adaptation allows for a streamlined body shape that facilitates efficient swimming. 4. Jumping. In kangaroos and other jumping animals, the pelvic girdle is elongated and angled to provide greater leverage for powerful leg muscles that propel the animal forward in long jumps. 5. Grasping. In primates, the pelvic girdle is adapted for climbing and grasping, with a longer and more curved ilium that allows for greater mobility of the leg and greater range of motion in the hip joint. 2. Femur. The femur is a long bone located in the thigh, and it is the largest bone in the human body. Its main function is to provide support and structure to the leg, allowing for movement and mobility. The upper part of the femur connects to the pelvis at the hip joint, while the lower part connects to the tibia and fibula bones of the lower leg at the knee joint. The femur has several adaptations that allow it to perform its function effectively, including 1. Strength. The femur is one of the strongest bones in the body, able to withstand the stresses of walking, running, and jumping. Its size and shape are adapted to provide maximum strength and support. 2. Mobility. The femur is articulated at both ends with other bones to allow for a wide range of motion. The ball and socket joint at the hip provides a high degree of mobility, while the hinge joint at the knee allows for flexion and extension. 3. Weight bearing. The upper part of the femur is designed to bear the weight of the body, with a large head and neck that fit into the hip socket to provide stability and support. 4. Muscle attachment. The femur has several attachment points for muscles, including the quadriceps and hamstrings, which are key muscles involved in movement of the leg. These attachment points are adapted to provide maximum leverage and strength for these muscles. 3. Tibia and fibula. The tibia and fibula are two long bones located in the lower leg, between the knee joint and the ankle joint. The tibia is the larger of the two, and it is the primary weight-bearing bone of the leg. It has several adaptations that allow it to perform its functions effectively, including 1. Strength. The tibia is designed to withstand the stresses of weight bearing, and its shape and size are adapted to provide maximum strength and stability. 2. Shock absorption. The proximal upper end of the tibia is wider and more rounded than the distal, lower end, which allows it to better absorb shock and distribute forces. 3. Articulation. The tibia forms a hinge joint with the femur at the knee, and it articulates with the fibula at its upper and lower ends. The fibula is a smaller bone located next to the tibia on the lateral outer side of the leg. Its functions include 1. Support. The fibula provides support and stabilization for the ankle joint, but it does not bear significant weight. 2. Muscle attachment. Several muscles attach to the fibula, including the peroneal muscles, which are involved in ankle and foot movements. Overall, the tibia and fibula work together to provide stability and mobility to the lower leg, allowing for standing, walking, running, and other movements. 5. Tarsals. Metatarsals and phalanges. The tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges are bones located in the foot. The tarsals are a group of 7 small bones located between the tibia and fibula in the ankle, and the metatarsals are 5 long bones that extend from the tarsals to the base of the toes. The phalanges are a total of 14 small bones that make up the toes. The functions of these bones include 1. Support. The tarsals provide support to the ankle joint, while the metatarsals provide support to the arch of the foot. 2. Mobility. The tarsals and metatarsals work together to allow for a range of motion in the foot, including flexion, extension, abduction, and adduction. 3. Weight bearing. The metatarsals are involved in weight bearing, and they are adapted to withstand the forces placed upon them during standing, walking, and running. 4. Balance and stability. The tarsals and metatarsals work together to provide balance and stability to the foot, allowing for controlled movements and maintaining posture. 5. Muscle and tendon attachment. The phalanges, tarsals, and metatarsals all provide attachment points for muscles and tendons involved in foot and toe movement. Overall, the bones of the foot work together to provide support, mobility, and stability, allowing for the intricate movements required for activities such as walking, running, and jumping. Describe the parts of skeleton of human hind limb. The human hind limb consists of the bones that make up the structures below the pelvis, including the 1. Hip bone. The hip bone, also known as the coxal bone or innominate bone, forms the hip joint and is composed of 3 fused bones, the ilium, ischium, and pubis. 2. Femur. The femur bone is the longest and strongest bone in the body and connects the hip bone to the knee joint. 3. Patella. The patella is a small bone that sits in front of the knee joint and provides protection and support to the joint. 4. Tibia. The tibia, also known as the shin bone, is a long bone that connects the knee joint to the ankle joint. 5. Fibula. The fibula is a long, thin bone that runs parallel to the tibia and provides stability and support to the ankle joint. 6. Tarsal bones. The tarsal bones are a group of 7 small bones that form the ankle joint, including the talus, calcaneus, navicular, cuboid, and 3 cuneiform bones. 7. Metatarsal bones. The metatarsal bones are 5 long bones that extend from the tarsal bones to the base of the toes. 8. Phalanges. The phalanges are 14 small bones that make up the toes, with each toe having 3 phalanges and the big toe having only 2. Overall, the bones of the hind limb work together to provide support, mobility, and stability, allowing for a wide range of movements and activities.